Hi, Dr. Nicole. How are you?
Hi, Tatianna. Do you see my face?
Yes. I want to cry, but yes, yes, that was me. Yes.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it over to you. Introduce yourself. Tell us how you had a baby and showed up like a few hours later. Like, we want to know all the things. So, give us a little bit of background.
Well, I am a licensed practical nurse. Originally, I was working in agency as well. I was a travel nurse, and unfortunately, I had agencies where they didn't run them very well. When I would go places, if I didn't do what the leader, wanted me to do, for some reason, my shifts would just get canceled, and it just was not good. So I was like, well, I don't have nothing else to do. Let me find something to do. So I was on Facebook and I ran into your ad. And that's when I got the box. I started out with the box and I was like, okay, let me try this out. It was not easy for me. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little work, but I did it for 2 years. Um, my first contract, so I got the box in 2020. My daughter's father was murdered in June of 2020.
So,
When he got murdered, I was like, look, you have to do this. Like, you've already put the money forward. She depends on you at this point. It's only you that can do it. He does not have that opportunity to help or assist if he wanted to. So by February of 2022, I got my first contract from your box. But before that, I was pregnant with my son, my newborn son. So while I was pregnant, I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I got the contract and they were like, okay, do you have nurses? I had no one. I was my only nurse. So I worked pregnant with my son every chance I got until I was able to start getting nurses. I was calling, but I was working also. Um, After I got my contract, I started hiring people. I was still working though. It was a lot of work. And I was like, look, I kept seeing your ad again, and it was saying, you don't want to mess up. You want to build that foundation. And I knew I was everywhere. I didn't have the foundation that I needed. So I was like, uh, let me go back to Miss Nicole. So when I seen you had, I believe it was in April, you did the 5 days where we sit like everyone else now, and that's what I did. I got in the cohort with that. I listened, and I was like, this is it. I have to. I've already started. I already have the contract. I just don't want to mess up for my future. I already have something that can set the future for my children because now I have my son in stomach and womb. I can set for my son. I think the very first day for us to do the program, I was pregnant. I had just gave birth to my son and I was actually breastfeeding. I was actually breastfeeding, but I knew then God told me, you're not giving up. You're not. And so that's how it started. And I'm here.
first of all, I don't even know what to say. First of all, my condolences, I think, is appropriate for your loss. We're certainly
Thank
sorry
you.
to hear that.
Thank you.
But thank you for sharing it because what people don't account for is that life happens
Yes, it is.
and life happens to all of us. And
Yes.
so I celebrate your resilience and your ability to still continue moving forward, even after going through a tragedy, understanding that those decisions will affect your children and your family and your legacy. So it's so amazing to be able to speak with you.
Okay.
So, okay. I don't even know what to ask you, Tatianna. I really don't. I wouldn't know how you had a baby and still showed up that day. Like,
Dedication. If you really want it, you're not going to stop. You are not. You're going to keep going. Like the other ones said, the other lady panelist stated, if I could walk past another agency and see someone else do it, you can too. We have children's, everybody have other lives, everybody, things hit us. It's what you can do when you get hit. Sometimes, I can honestly say, sometimes when you're at your lowest, you get to getting up. You don't let it keep you down. You definitely get fire under your behind. At least for me, I did. I knew
absolutely.
bringing another child into this world, and not having my daughter's father, it was just like, no, I have to make sure they're okay. And actually, my daughter is now within my agency. I was able to start creating generational wealth with my 11-year-old daughter.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
is so awesome. Listen, there's a saying, sometimes you don't know how strong you are until strong is the only choice you have to be.
Yes, ma'am.
So we celebrate your strength and your resilience. Why specifically did you choose healthcare staffing? I know you said you had done work in staffing firms before, but what appealed to you about having your own staffing firm?
Um, the leadership. Every facility I ever went to, I was always just informed of how much of a leader I am, how great of a nurse I am. I was always that one that I motivated other people. When people were having a bad day at the job, I was the one that assists with them, but also motivate them in that time. Don't give up. I know this might be, you might be going through something, but don't let it show up on the job. Just different things. I was just always that person. And I didn't always have that for myself because I did know as a woman, I went through depression, anxiety. I went through a lot of it. Even for me as an LPN, it took me 6 tries to get my LPN license, 3 years before I became a nurse. And I didn't have no one to push me like that. So I wanted to be able to show other women, other men, just people that come around me, come to me, just let them know like you can do it. You can still go. We not giving up on you. Like you can do it. We got this. All of us. We have this as one no matter what. So that's what it was. Just being a leader. I was always taught you are a leader. And I hear it so much from other people, but I didn't start noticing until other people would come back or I'll be out. I was a travel nurse, so you go to different buildings and they're like, "Oh, Tatiana, I remember you." And I'm like, "Oh, hi." So that's really what it was, just the leadership and being able to show other people that just because of a bad day, it doesn't have to turn into the worst day.
Oh, absolutely. That's beautiful. How many staff members do you have now? Do you know offhand?
Offhand, I have a total of 35. I had a lot, but you learn really fast. Everybody is not quality. So the number did not matter to me because all of them, I get 40 plus hours from my 35 people.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
how many buildings are you currently staffing?
Buildings, I have one client, but he has given me 15 buildings.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice, nice, nice.
Hard, but
Yeah, well, I just sense that's probably a pretty good paycheck.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. But you want to get the staff too, so you get your days. And it's like, ugh. So yes.
Yeah. What's your proudest accomplishment? Like, I don't even know if you're going to be able to pick because, like, I already have three moments from your life that I'm like,
Yes.
but what's your proudest moment
Not
on
giving
this
up.
journey?
Not giving up. Never giving up. I could have given up so many times from, the calls of just asking to be able to staff buildings, knowing that I don't have the staff. Um, it's many times that I go to work sometimes still right now, and I'll go to work, and then I'll come home and I'll get right back on that computer and work with my staff to get the rest of these staffs on, to onboard and just different things like that. Even critiquing, changing the way we do things just to be able to get the right type of people because you do run into any and everything, but never giving up. Never giving
Absolutely.
up.
What is your what do you think makes you an enterpriser? Today we're talking about uprisers, but what do you think separates you from the competition and just kind of makes you an enterpriser?
Mm, the determination, the willingness, whew, resilience. Definitely.
Absolutely.
I'm very resilient. No matter where I go, like the other panelists stated, I'm very determined. I try to do the research. If something's not working, I'm going to change it. I'm going to fix it into a different type of way. We're not going to keep going and allowing the same thing to just keep happening. As soon as we see one wrong thing, people calling out or something, let's try to find a different way. Let's see how this can work. How can we go about this a little different so we don't have as many call outs or, so we don't have as many cancellations. buildings, just being able to get people into the buildings. When I go in, I show up for me and show up for us as Lifeline, my staffing agency. I show up. So just never giving up, resilience, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. I think that that is a great word. And you know what? A lot of times we talk about the money. And I'm so glad that you said this, because if you have the quality of resilience, being broke will always be a choice. And
Yes.
so the fact that you're able to get up and continue and keep moving, and let's reassess it, and let's reimagine it, and let's do it again, let's be resilient. I have no doubt in my mind, like, you're going to a place that you probably don't even know, right? You probably can't even plan for, because resilience in and of itself is its own prize. Being able to just say, okay, I'm still going, right?
Yes.
Um, Somebody had said one time, well, that's going to take a whole year. And I'm thinking to myself, well, a year is coming,
Mm-hmm.
whether you do this or not. Next year is still going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
So you either take the steps and go through the year and move towards what you want, or you get to next year and you're still going to be reflecting, wanting to do this thing. Next year is coming regardless,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So what do you want people to know today? Well, let me ask this. What has been your hardest day? Or yeah, what's been your hardest day? Let's talk about that. Like, you're in there, you're doing the work. Like, I believe in telling both sides of the story. And business is, sometimes there are challenging days, which I think are great learning opportunities for us. But can you share a moment when you just were like, I don't know? Um, yeah. Can you share a moment? Like, what was a difficult day for you inside of your business?
Yes. So, um, losing staff, just for many reasons, and having to be my own staff
Mhm.
while coming home to be an agency owner and breastfeeding a
Yeah.
newborn baby, that has to be the hardest thing ever. It is bad days. You will have some days where you just want to say, "Oh no, I throw in the towel." Breastfeeding, of course, everyone knows it. The child clings to you after that. So just imagine me trying to make phone calls. I'm over here breastfeeding, so the baby's not making talking or doing any kind of noise. It's definitely those moments. That is one of the hardest and toughest things. Most of the facilities we have is 7P to 7A, so they're 12-hour shifts. So just
Mhm.
imagine I would work from 9 to 5, and then they don't have anyone, so then I will be the one to go in from 7 to 7 and then come right back 9 to 5, and then hope and pray at 5 p.m. I have nothing else to worry about, and now I can sleep. And sometimes it was being a mother, a business owner. I have a hard time saying no sometimes. And that is something I'm learning. Because even though I watched you and you said to give us that freedom, I still haven't took myself out to that freedom like I wanted to. I've had times where no worries for months at a time. But I
Mhm.
am the one that when it's time to open up facilities, I open them up. I don't wait. I don't try to say, I might ask, of course, I do try to ask, can you give me a few days? But if I don't have it, I'll be the one to do it. I will, because Lifeline has to still thrive. I
Absolutely.
have to plan. So,
Absolutely. So let's forecast a little bit. What do you see for yourself and your healthcare staffing firm in 2023?
ooh, 7 figures. Seven, definitely.
Seven.
Um, 7, 8 figures. I want to go.
You ready to go there?
Yes, I
Well,
have
listen.
I have put it together to slow my role with just focusing only CEO role. I have staff that does assist now to
Mhm.
go ahead and help me with the recruiting, and we're on it. By certain time, the first of the month, I want a certain amount of people to be hired on by that certain amount of month. I've already put in the amount of money that I decide that we want to make because we've already crossed the threshold. So yes, yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Strategic.
Yes,
Strategic.
strategic.
All you have to do is keep working the strategy.
Yes,
For
ma'am.
sure. So I want to say this too, because you alluded to motherhood, and, you know, it is hard, right? And I don't sugarcoat things for people, but here's the parallel that I like to draw, right?
Mhm.
Because I've been that mom in the bathtub, holding my baby, on the phone with the facility. They have no idea, right? Me and my baby are in water and I'm trying to take care of them. And I'm like, if they could see me, right, they would be like, this lady's crazy. But you do what you have to do,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
But choosing my heart was understanding that if I was at a facility, I wouldn't be with my child and be able to comfort them when they didn't feel good and get into a soaking tub to help them feel better with them and still be at home, or being there for different moments in their life, or getting to choose, do I want to open up a facility or do I want to let someone else do that? So working every day is hard. 16 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. That's hard.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we're going to do hard, the thing I always think about is I'm going to choose my hard and I'm going to get paid for my hard. Right. And so it just seems like you strategically chosen your heart, and it doesn't, obviously, right, it doesn't stay like this forever, but there are seasons where we put in the work and then there are seasons where we reap the reward. So I definitely see you moving into your reaping season. Is there anything that we haven't discussed that you want to share? Any words of encouragement, anything you want us to know as you're being considered? I didn't even know we had an enterpriser today. Anything you want us to consider as you're being considered for the enterpriser award?
Let me think. Consideration. I think I said it for the most part. I don't know, but I do want to just let everyone know that don't give up no matter what, and definitely go by what she's teaching because it works. It does. The doors may close, but as long as you can put a foot in and allow it to pry a little bit, it will open all the way up. It will. I don't know.
I think that's beautifully stated, Tatianna. First of all, let me say this. I celebrate your resilience, your transparency. Again, we talk about money a lot. We talk about a lot of, but I don't think we've talked about resilience enough. And so thank you for being transparent, and thank you for continuing to go, because now there's people that are listening that are thinking that they are alone in whatever tragedy, whatever part of life. It's like, no, life is happening to all of us. And some of us just choose to say, okay, I'm still going to get up and do it again. I might have to take some time off, but I'm going to get up next week and I'm going to try again. And so thank you for not only adding language to it, thank you for the action and the intention you put behind, because now we have a visual representation of what resilience looks like. So thank you so much for showing up and sharing your stories. And thank you for allowing us to have 2 babies with you.
Yes, and I have not been a full year yet. February will be 1 full year. So you guys can do it. You can do it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Guys, give Tatianna some love in the comments, please. I enjoyed hearing her story. Oh my goodness. There are so many people that are here and represent so many of the things that you and I and everyone else are going through, have gone through, may go through. But what I loved about her today is the vulnerability and saying, listen, I got all this stuff happening and I'm still succeeding. I'm still winning. She's not planning to fail. She's planning to win. So thank you so much.